Hello everyone, my name is Sarah, and for my capstone I decided to do a research creation project called Music and Memory Across the Lifespan. I was curious to learn about what makes music so memorable through our lives. Is it the music itself? Is it the lyrics or the text? Or is it something else? For this research project, I partnered with the Meadow Singers, a local choir from Kitchener-Waterloo. I started by interviewing 4 members of the choir above age 50 to learn about songs that were memorable or significant to them from their past. I then created 3 workshops based on this music mentioned in the interviews to continue the conversation about music and memory with the choir at large. Meanwhile, I arranged and taught 3 pieces for the choir members to rehearse and record from home. After these researching components of the project, I began the creation phase, assembling all of the performance recordings submitted by the choir members with clips from the interviews to create a mini documentary video on the project and all of my findings to answer the research question. So with that being said, I wanted to ask you, what makes music so memorable throughout your life? Can you think of a time when you heard or learned or played a specific song? What is so significant about that memory that you still remember it today? Perhaps your answers to these questions are similar to what I discovered throughout my project. The major component that makes music so memorable is that it creates meaning within our lives, whether that be individually or shared with others. It is this personal and meaningful connection with a song or musical experience that locks it into our brains in ways that endure across time. But how is this meaning created? My interviews revealed that the text or the lyrics of a song can create this personal connection. With several interviewees, they actually acknowledged that the musical elements of the song also allow them to connect to the piece on a personal level. Whether it's the text or the musical qualities, or a combination of both, this pattern was the result of one major component. These personal connections to the text and music were because these things connected to the person's identity. For example, much of the music discovered was tied to moments in life where the individual experienced major changes or gained greater independence. Other examples of this identity-forming music began much earlier in childhood, where the social connections we make can be relived and honored by listening to this music from the past today. This revelation leads me to a key distinction, in that musical memories can sometimes be about physical locations, but these memories can also be more symbolic in nature as well. Hearing a certain song can lead a person to recall the specific place in which that memory was formed, and yet this experience of recollecting was described to also extend beyond the music instance itself, whereby the song evokes memories simply from around the same time, even though the music may not have been specifically heard during those moments. Now, looking ahead toward our futures, I believe it is important to keep these findings in mind because we should always be considering these lasting impacts of music when we use it within our communities, whether that's our schools, our churches, our workshops, and even our homes. Upon sharing the mini documentary video on Saturday night, many choir members actually reached out to me via the entire choir email to share how grateful they were to hear these specific stories, while others actually had stories of their own to share about the same songs or similar experiences growing up. This demonstrates the value of music in someone's life and how it can be used to create and strengthen connections, while still allowing people to share their stories in a world that can sometimes be restrictive or silencing. Thank you for listening to my presentation today. I will be sharing the YouTube link to my mini documentary, but you can also find it by searching Music and Memory Across the Lifespan on YouTube. Remember that music has the power to transcend time and barriers, so use this to your personal benefit, but also for the benefit of others in your community. Thank you.